Anyway, are we ready to roll?
We've been rolling.
Oh, shit.
We're sending this to Loose Lips immediately.
The girlies.
Yep.
We'd love to see you at a Loose Lips open mic.
Yeah?
You should come.
Should I go up, though?
You used to do stand-up, didn't you?
I've never done stand-up in my life. I'd like to, though.
Will this part of it be in the podcast?
If you want it to be.
Can I say something
Am I a pro editor? No, like, for the most part, I'm barely taking things out.
You do the editing? Okay, well, let's be real. If we sent this to them, they'd be like, who are Patrick and Mish?
Yeah, I know. I think they know me, though.
I
Girls, gays, and everybody else, welcome back to an episode of Taking It Personally. I am your host, Michelle Yampolsky Gomez, and I have my beloved guest host. You haven't met him yet here, but his name is Patrick Kincaid. Welcome, Patrick.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't know why I just got nervous.
I know, I see you all of a sudden, you're like...
But I wasn't until then.
I know, and we've been recording this whole time. Patrick and I met through our stand-up comedy class that we took together at Brooklyn Comedy Collective over a year ago, I would say.
It's like almost 2 years?
Sure. Well, yeah. So we took it a while ago. We met there. I still am not sure if he likes me, but he's here anyway. And in our comedy class, we were handpicked by a certain tall redhead producer to come together and produce some stand-up shows. We called ourselves Reunion Comedy.
Because we didn't want to think of like an actual...
It just was like the easiest. And honestly, I was definitely rewatching Housewives at the time when the name came up.
Sure.
Right. So Patrick, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, so I'm Patrick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a stand-up and actor and singer. I don't know. I have a degree in musical theater, so I feel like I have to say singer, even though I don't know if that's like how I would...
Do what feels honest to you.
I'll say it. I feel like I have to. That's the only way I'm still using the BFA, so I'm going to say it just so it gets some use. I wish I knew where it was. Do you know where your degree is?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. But yeah.
But yours is in like something. What is your degree in?
I just ordered it to come in one of the folders, the fancy folders.
No, I don't mean like what is it in. I meant like what did you study? Oh. Like I don't care like what it's physically in.
I thought you wanted to know if I had my degree.
I got like a frame from
Michael's.
From the Container Store.
No, I actually I'm having like a whole separate issue with framing from Michael's right now. My daughter at one of her crafting classes created 2 beautiful fish over a year ago. And you might know, but my husband's obsessed with fishing. And so he went and got them professionally framed at Michael's as a gift to himself and had it hung up because he thought it was funny. Flash forward about a year, my daughter can now talk, and she's now claiming that someone else made the fish in the frames, and he has been on a downward spiral ever since.
Well, so, how old was she?
She was probably 1 when this was made, and now she's 2.5, so she's having lucid thoughts.
There is literally no connection to those paintings for her.
No, she looks at them daily there and says, so-and-so made them. So now we're kind of choosing not to listen.
That's really
choosing
funny.
Not to hear her. I know. So anyway, my degree is in a professional folder that I ordered from my university, and I studied political science with minors in sociology and digital communication.
Yeah, I would frame that too. You know what I'm not going to frame? A BFA in musical theater.
Baby girl, no.
No.
No, I am not framing that. Like, I have done absolutely nothing with that. My
Yeah, but still, it's impressive.
Oh my God,
It's
thank
like,
you.
It's like, look, school was hard.
No one ever tells me that.
I was in a rehearsal room, like, doing Little Shop of Horrors, but speaking it instead of singing it, so we could, like, tell what it was really about.
Before I transferred schools, I went to Pace in downtown Manhattan, which has a really big musical theater program.
And I know it was rejected from it.
Oh, my. I would have
the acceptance letter because I was in a bad mood.
I had to share elevators into my dorm. I don't know if you know this about Pace, but Pace freshman dorms are connected to the university campus itself in downtown Manhattan. So
wait, is that kind of lit?
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. It made for some really good stories.
Well, then also, if your class is in like 10 minutes, you can just kind of boot, scoot, and boogie.
Yeah, I had a shirt that I used to wear that said rehab ? That I got from a job in high school. How many tangents am I going to fucking go on? So anyway, I was stuck I got stuck. Yeah, I handed out flyers by a PATH station in Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got stuck in an elevator in my dorm with a lot of musical theater kids. The elevator just had too many people in it, and to pass time when it was stuck, the musical theater kids were rehearsing their act, and they got into a fight because the sassy one said, "It doesn't go da 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 da, it goes da 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 da," and they were all fighting about it in a teeny tiny elevator when we were lodged between the second and third floors for 45 minutes.
How do you feel about those videos of when planes are stalled and a cappella groups go, "We'll help pass the time"?
Oh,
And they start doing da 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 da. No.
mortifying.
Yeah.
I just saw one yesterday.
I saw one too from the University of Michigan.
See, I never want to know where they're coming from because I'm kind of watching and like waiting to scroll. Like I'm painful watching. Saw
See, I want to know where they're from because I'm sending emails.
you're a Karen.
I'm emailing them. They're all expelled.
You're a Karen.
Yes.
I think we need to take it back a notch though, because you have yet to give like your full run through introduction.
Oh, sure.
Give us your boilerplate.
boilerplate.
Yeah.
What is that?
Just tell me about yourself.
Oh. Well, yeah, I'm okay. So I do stand up. I am from Virginia. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's not great, but it's not that bad.
But you're here.
It's beautiful. Well, yeah, I didn't stay.
Yeah.
Who would?
Okay.
Aside from everyone I know. But
It's not that bad.
Virginia's beautiful. What
You're
else?
a poet.
I am a poet. I just got an email, so there's that. I am a poet. I started doing poetry during the pandemic because it felt like the world was ending, and I thought, what if it was worse?
How can I contribute to this problem?
Yeah. And it also just felt, that was the nice thing about, look, so many awful things happen, but because the pandemic felt so world ending, it was like, I can do anything with my time now.
Right. I can do whatever I
Yeah.
please.
I don't even think I would have started doing stand-up if it wasn't for the pandemic.
We all have our reasons
Yeah.
for making art,
Yeah.
quote unquote. And so a while ago, you and I took a class together at Brooklyn Comedy Collective. It was a stand-up comedy class. We went through this part. And what was your first memory of me in that class?
What was my first memory of you? I remember, I feel like, did you come in late?
Probably. I'm notorious. I'm chronically late.
I'm so bad with names, so I usually have to do, like, personality traits for everyone when I first meet them just to keep them, like, separate in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm okay with faces. You were definitely, like, one with the kid.
Yeah,
For at least,
sure.
like, 2 weeks before I was able to be like, Michelle.
Yeah, yeah.
For some reason, I feel like you came in late. So I was like, I remember in my head being like, well, it makes sense someone with a kid would be late, so that's fine.
And that still applies.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, if I had a kid, I would never show up anywhere.
Yeah, my first impression of you actually was that I thought you and our tall redhead friend knew each other very well beforehand, and I
why?
thought you two were kind of a power clique, and I wanted to break in.
Oh, why? Did you think we knew each other?
I think because you both did the Artist's Way together.
I
talking
was
about
in the
it.
middle of doing the artist. Yeah, that I was very. I was
Yeah.
in the middle of the artist way during that class.
Yeah. So there were so many personalities in that class.
There were.
Is there anyone else that really stood out to you?
Well, there was my boyfriend Colton. Hi, Colton. He stopped coming to class after 3 of them, but he was a former college, like, what is it when you're good in college? Wait, wasn't he like pre-Olympic? Like a pre-Olympic swimmer
There was
or
a gay
something?
athlete
Yeah, gay
in our
athlete.
class.
Loved
He looked
him.
fabulous.
Remember when he told a story about how like his
Stepdad
sister-in-law wanted
to have sex with him.
Yeah, or something weird like that.
Yeah, it was super White Lotus-y. And
Yeah, very White Lotus-y.
So
Loved him.
Colton was in our class, and I think
Are you gonna bleep the names?
Yeah. His ass isn't watching this. I have no idea where he went.
That's so
He's not even
true.
in the WhatsApp group.
That's actually very true.
Well, we'll call him Caleb.
We call him Caleb. Yeah,
was in class. We were
Loved
going
him.
through the motions of class. We had some activity where you have to share an embarrassing story. And I'm pretty sure the story he shared was that his stepdad wanted to fuck him.
Yeah, it was something weird where it was like sister and like
There was like some weird incestual
Yeah,
family dynamics.
like his aunt wanted to watch him make out with his uncle or something.
Right.
It was something really weird.
It was sketchy, weird, and incestual. And it was one of those
I loved it.
I know you did. You were eating it up. I mean, it's not that any of us hated it, but when it was over, we all were a little bit like, mouth dropped and caught off guard. And then he just never showed up again.
I know. I do wonder if because I think he was one of the ones that was like, I've never performed before. And I do think maybe he
overstepped.
He did what in reality is actually very funny, but he felt like he had like exposed like a wound that shouldn't have been like, yeah.
Right, because he exposed that. Then I remember seeing him get on his little bike and pedal away into the night, and we never saw or heard from him
it's
again.
not like actually in acting school where if that happens on Monday and you have class again on Wednesday. And it's like, well, this isn't some like comedy class I signed up on a lark. It's like I'm here for the next 4 years. I have to go.
Right. And the person that stands out to me the most, there was another parent in class, an older gentleman. Who was going through a divorce. He lived in South Brooklyn. So I related to him a lot on that because my family is all from South Brooklyn. And, class was progressing and we were all running through our sets for our big show at the end.
Yeah.
And he shows up one day.
He got a little too comfortable.
He got real comfortable and he rehearsed his set with bits that none of us had ever worked through with him in class.
No. And they were so inappropriate. Let me put it this way. If I were to repeat them on this microphone, I think we'd be flagged by the FBI. For sure.
Right. It was in the line of like child trafficking.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No, it really was that bad. And so our teacher, who was lovely, immediately stopped him and in her sternest, harshest, can't believe this is happening in a fucking Brooklyn comedy stand-up class, basically told him to never let those words leave his mouth again.
And she was still so nice about it.
And she was so gracious
I would have been so rude.
I was about to call 311.
I was laughing, but only because I was so uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, but you do that.
I was like,
And you think that your laugh passes, but when you laugh because you're uncomfortable, you're just making everyone else more uncomfortable.
I know, but I was just like, I don't know what to do. I wanted to die.
It looked like a cry laugh.
I bet it did. It was so bad.
And there was also another character, the frat boy, who I feel like you really resonated with.
Okay, so my damage is that I'm never more attracted to anyone than like a frat bro.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's very Virginia coded.
It's super Virginia coded.
So, like,
it's a lot of like
UVA coded.
It's a lot of unhealed within you.
Yeah.
And also when you're taking this type of stand-up class in the heart of Bushwick, but they're trying to call it East
Williamsburg. When you're expecting the freaks to show up and then a frat bro shows up.
Exactly.
Get out.
Even I was a little like, he's cute.
Yeah.
Go on.
Loved him. There was we had a bunch of guests as well, and it was most of the guest students, not like guest teachers,
comedians,
were like queer women for some reason. They were like from the teacher's other class, and he told this story where like, of course, like classic frat bro life. He had like 3 roommates, 2 of them were guys, and like 1 was a girl,
right? And
could not tell you like what story he told, but he said the word fruity, right?
Yes, he did use.
And
then
he asked all of us if he could say the word fruity.
The inappropriate old dad in the back was like, "Hell yeah, brother!"
Yeah. And he was like, "Is that inappropriate?" Like looking at all the queer people, and all the women were like, "No, you shouldn't say that. It like is kind of like inappropriate." And my ass was like, "I think he can say it." I was like, "Say the real slur.
Go all out." You always loved someone dropping a slur.
I do. I love when people say a slur. If it's like their slur.
If it's their slur to
If it's
use.
your slur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think people should.
So rules for thee, but not for me.
And I think you should be allowed to say slurs at the place where your W-2 applies.
That's an interesting rule.
Your slur.
I should be able to say this. And what if you're like formerly on the DEI committee?
Well, it probably doesn't exist anymore. So say whatever you want.
Touche, babes. Touche. And so we started doing stand-up together. What do you think are key differences in our stand-up styles?
Well, mine is really good.
Nasty.
Just kidding. If you watch my video from the other night, I literally paused for like 5 seconds and then looked at the audience and was like, what are we doing here? What is the key difference? I don't know, yours is pretty like, what I like about it is yours is kind of like diary comedy, where it does kind of feel like it's what you write. It's like quite literally what you've written in your journal, which I think is good.
Which is funny because that's what you do.
What I literally do, sure, but I don't think mine feels like that.
Right. Yeah. Also, yours is a little bit of like not word vomit, but it feels like it's naturally coming out in that moment. Like it's your thought process out loud.
Yeah, I think mine's maybe more not personality driven. I don't know what it is. It's like
it's a stream of consciousness.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm the bit.
Yeah.
Because my whole like
so you're a joke.
Kind of, but my whole approach is like I like the idea of the audience thinking that I think I'm better than them, but we're all on the same page that I'm actually stupid.
What?
Exactly. I don't know. It's just this I want the audience to think that I think I'm smarter than them, but in reality, everyone's aware that I'm like operating at like a 3rd grade level.
Okay. And that's a Virginia education.
Yes.
So I live
Virginia actually ranks very high, I think.
I know.
In the education level. I actually have no idea if that's true or not. But I went to a blue ribbon school.
They're all fucking blue ribbon schools.
Yeah, they just give those out, don't they?
Yeah, they make it rain blue ribbons.
Not in some of these states.
Well, we can. That's like, and that's an issue that needs to be addressed. That's why we
here
have
today, and that's what I'm here to do. I work,
and that's what we're doing with my political
Betsy
science
DeVos.
degree, and I'm dissolving the education department. Anyway,
where's Betsy DeVos? I don't care.
I don't think I care either.
Yeah.
Because isn't it?
It's whoever now.
It's like Hulk Hogan's wife running the DEA.
Yeah, it's
Hold on.
I don't know. It's probably like Sydney Sweeney. I legitimately have no idea at this point.
No, I can assure you, it's definitely not her.
It's not Sydney Sweeney.
No,
probably should
but
be.
it's like Hulk Hogan's wife.
Love that.
Yay.
Hulk Hogan, hot or not?
Not hot, but you know who I loved when I was younger, and my husband will vouch for this. He was my comfort watch, and I would fall asleep watching him after going out at the bars in my sorority house. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Put some respect on his name.
I don't know.
First,
I'll be so real. I don't know what he looks like.
look him up and get back to me. Anyway, Dog's wife Beth ran the show. Stunning woman. May she rest in peace. I didn't watch because I thought he was attractive. I watched because he did good work.
His hair colorist didn't. Fuck.
Nasty.
Well, why is it yellow?
He looks like Hulk
Bleach and tone.
The way we got here is that he looks...
Bleach and tone.
I've never colored my hair.
What is that from? Sorry. I'm feeling so ADHD.
Bring it back to this room.
Oh my god, who's that? Wait, Dochi. This is a Dochi sweatshirt. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank
We'll
you.
We'll do a little zoom in. Alligator bites never heal by the... That's a good sweatshirt. That's why I didn't make you take it off when we were both in for a screen. Do you have any poetry you want to read us?
Sure. Okay, I'll let you pick by title which one you would like to hear.
Okay, and while you pull that up, I also want to elaborate that Patrick has read a lot of his poetry out loud at some of the shows that we've done together. And the fun thing about these shows is it's really like a bunch of drunk kindergartners putting together a little talent show.
Yeah.
So you have your family come to a lot of it, and there is nothing more exhilarating than having your grandma in the audience listen to someone like Patrick talk about cum being dumped in his eye and giving him pink eye.
The comedians I like are all the ones that will just talk about everything.
Right.
Specifically in terms of like sex. Like I love like a Nikki Glazer. I love a Kat Cohen. Like I love anyone like that. So I think that's part of my whole approach is to just be... I like the idea of being honest in ways that other people are
and
just...
And you shouldn't hold yourself back just because Babushka's in the audience.
Oh, no, I don't.
Right.
Are you kidding me? We have Emma Quinlan Baxter on almost every show, and her parents come to every single show.
Right.
And I constantly think about talking about cum when I look at them.
I'm pretty sure you make eye contact with them when you talk about cum.
The other night when I introduced her, I said, her parents listen to me talk about fucking and sucking all the time. Here's Emma.
And then she gets on stage and talks about being like a Catholic.
Oh, yeah, not like being born without the ability to smell. I'm like, great, she is like a real thing going on. I'm just like a problem. So I could
I just need poppers to function.
Listen.
We'll get there. Give me the...
So one of the poems is... It's the Sorry I Missed Your Text. I was smoking weed outside the Prada store poem.
That's a good one.
And then we also have one that I wrote in a poet... Wait, did I write this in the poetry class? Whatever. I took a poetry class a few weeks ago, so I basically have an MFA now. But it's a poem I wrote called I wrote this poem instead of making a Hinge profile.
Give me a new one. I haven't heard that one.
I think it's new-ish. Okay. So, my ASMR voice. I wrote this poem instead of... This is a poem I wrote called I wrote this poem instead of making a Hinge profile. I think I'm all right. I'm a shit talker, but not a yum yucker. I don't have guilty pleasures because I can't shut the fuck up about things I like, and I'm brunette, but not in the bad way. I think my body is a temple the same way I think Selena Gomez is a singer. Right now, my nail is gorilla glued to itself because it cracked down the middle, but thank God it's just the middle finger, not one that matters. Thumb, pinky, pointer, etc. Also, I don't believe in God except for when I want something. I think an all-black outfit is lazy and tired. I don't respect minimalism, and I only believe in love after 3 glasses of wine or when dogs do that thing where they hit you if you stop petting them. I think everything is going to be okay. Or not, because those are the options.
Stunning.
Thank you.
What's so bad about being a brunette?
Just
Is this like a reference to your private parts?
Oh, why would you think that?
I don't know. Why is it so bad to be a brunette?
I'm brunette, but not in the bad way.
But not in
you
the
know
bad-
when you meet a brunette and they're brunette in the bad way. You know it.
I only think about that with blondes or redheads.
Oh gosh, no. Well, no, I think it's every hairstyle. I mean, every hair color has this. You meet someone who's blonde in the good way and blonde in the bad way.
Right. Okay.
It's like when you meet someone who has a mustache, but you can tell it's not really part of their soul.
They just tried it out.
Yeah, they just have a mustache.
Like people in our comedy class. Like the straights.
Yes,
the straights.
Yes.
Or some of the gays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The lesbians.
Yeah. But like who's brunette in the bad way? Well, I mean, obviously Elon is brunette in the bad way.
Okay, that tracks.
Yeah.
As someone who just took an electric vehicle here. I'd like to move on to our next segment. And
fuck the poetry.
Fuck the poetry was stunning.
Fuck the arts. I
and
said
fuck
it.
the brunettes. Haven't died at once.
I have to have fuck the arts like somewhere in media for the world to see, so that way when they start coming for us, I can be like, no. I never supported them. You know what I mean?
No. I'm you have fully lost me.
I'm talking about like when the government starts coming for us.
They've already been doing that.
No, but when they really start doing it, that way I can. It's like the other day I text someone. Never mind, I can't say that out loud.
Why?
Because it was inappropriate. Keep going.
Was
Next
it on,
segment.
Oh, was it on Grindr?
No.
If it was on Grindr, I want to. Okay, fine.
No, it wasn't Grindr.
Okay, it was someone I know then. So this is my new advice segment that I want to call "We Definitely Shouldn't Be Giving Advice."
Mm-hmm.
And you actually, I thought of it.
Yeah.
No, I thought of it because I
that.
just thought that you are really good at giving advice that you have no business of giving.
Yeah, I think so. I love to talk.
So we have a few listener submitted questions, which was a surprise to both you and I.
Wait, yes, I have them as well.
Yes. So my first one, and remember, we definitely shouldn't be giving advice. So if you choose to listen to or follow any of this advice, that's really on you. Number 1, my best friend doesn't talk to me because she only hangs out with her girlfriend now. Is it okay to be mad? Patrick, what do you think?
Yes. I think
it's okay to be mad.
Yeah, fuck that. Love? In this economy?
Well, I also wonder if they're lesbians or if this is a straight relationship.
My best friend doesn't talk. Okay, I know who submitted this, so I know the.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the context?
Yeah.
It's.
Can you say it on camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think this person. I'm not gonna say their name or anything. I don't think they would care though. This is a girl who submitted this. She's talking about her friend and her friend's girlfriend.
Okay, got it.
Who are lesbians in love.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You know, I have a best friend who.
Congrats.
Thank you. She came out a couple of years ago as a lesbian and immediately got into a relationship.
Well, that's what they do.
Oh my God, they wife up so fucking fast. It's unbelievable.
It's genuinely impressive.
You know, once she came out to us, we knew.
Yeah.
We were all like, yeah, no, that tracks. And, you know, in a shocking turn of events, her sister's a lesbian, was a lesbian first.
I think that's so fun when there's 2 gay kids in a family.
Yeah, there's in a conservative family.
Yeah, I love that. Because when you're the only one, you really are like...
No, they're the majority.
Yeah, I love that.
But anyway, my friend who came out, she immediately wifed up.
Hell yeah.
And I do love her girlfriend. And you know what? Me adding the color that she's a lesbian and so is her sister, nothing to do with it. Not a thing.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you. It also, like, I love that about her. Like, I'm so happy she came out. Now, what I will say, as someone who has been married for 5 years, I've been with my partner since, I've been with my husband. Like, who says that? I've been with my husband since I was 20. For a long time, especially throughout our 20s, we were like, we want to maintain our friendships. We're going out in group settings. We're going on vacations with other people. You know, we don't need all this specific time to ourselves. And as we got older and people get older, get into their 30s, start getting married, start having other priorities, friendships become less of a priority, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make a choice where you are focusing, if it's someone who you're going to be with for the rest of your life, you are focusing and putting attention and nurturing that relationship.
No, they actually did a documentary about this on NBC. It was called Friends. It ran from 1996 to 2006. You're like, you know how like sometimes in your life, like your friends are your family and then like your family becomes your family? I'm like, yeah, I did. I watched it.
Your family becomes your family. Okay, cool. So this is something that I've been preparing in my head, and turns out you already know how the story goes. Sorry I lived it.
Yeah,
you know?
when you move to Connecticut, I'll be like, yeah, I
I'm not moving to fucking
watched
Connecticut.
this
I'm
part.
not moving to Connecticut.
What's going on there?
What's going on there? Not me.
TV wants you to believe it's so easy to get to Connecticut from New York, and I'm not convinced.
No, it's not. I mean, anything that... Oh, aren't you from Connecticut?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Is it easy to get from Connecticut to New York?
If you have a car.
That's not what TV wants me to believe. They believe the trains will
They romanticize the train.
I refuse.
They
to go on
believe
train
the
to
trains will get
Connecticut.
me to
Same.
and
I
fro.
refuse to do the NJ Transit.
I refuse.
To be clear, I'm also talking about like I Love Lucy, which aired in like 1959. So maybe the trains were.
Okay, so you're a fucking TV historian over here.
Well, the
You're
trains
blasting
were.
us with
The
friends on
trains
I
were
Love
fresh
Lucy.
then. Maybe they did move quicker. I don't know.
No, because they had working underground tunnels. Now all the tunnels are fucked.
That's true. Wait, what
So-
was the question?
The question was about relationships, but I want to just really quick. So are you asking about Connecticut, like what's going on in the water with the type of people there, or you're asking about commuting?
I've just never been. I just don't understand that vibe.
You're fine.
Okay.
You
I
don't
heard
need
that
to go.
no, the pizza's good.
Sure. The pizza's good here.
Yeah.
You don't need to go
If
there.
you-
Pizza is good everywhere, except for Chicago.
False. Pizza's not good everywhere.
I
Okay.
agree. No, it's
What?
not good everywhere.
It's pizza.
That's how you know he didn't grow up in this area.
I also grew up on Domino's, so like my
Yeah, that's.
my
I could fuck with the Domino's, but like don't sit here and try to tell me pizza's good everywhere.
my gauge for what makes good pizza is low.
I think that applies to a lot of areas in your life. And moving on.
To the next one.
How do you make friends in a new city? You relocated here. You're not from here.
Yeah, but I went to school here, so I had like a built-in
Network.
thing. So I think my advice is go to. If you are moving to Charleston, USC has some amazing programs,
Okay.
and that's our sponsor today.
I fucking wish there was a sponsor.
University of
Help, Chris.
who will sponsor anyone?
This
Brooklyn
episode's
Comedy
sponsored by
Collective.
Connecticut.
Sponsored by Connecticut, the Connecticut Travel Bureau.
You have literally shat on it. And you have shat
No, I
on
love
it.
them. That's where Lucy lived for a season.
All right. How do you make friends in a new city?
I mean-
Also, you could go to an open mic.
I know all the cliches are true. Is the reality about making friends in a new city? It's like you have to just go do things.
Yeah.
You can't be in your apartment. You also can't download Bumble Friends or whatever the hell.
Yeah. I have no advice on this because I have never welcomed in a new person. Like, especially when I was like deep in my 20s in my clique of people, like if a new person showed up, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I wish I could say differently. I wish I was a better person then. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I just was like, no. But it's kind of the downside of when you grow up outside of the city that you're now like living and growing
Yeah.
your career in. I mean, my home friends were in the city. My college friends ended up in the city.
Yeah.
And then my now husband was working in the city and like meeting people and bringing scumbags home. Not like home, but they were, you know, like as friends, and they were all like a bunch of drunks.
Yeah.
So like I was always like, I don't want to meet anyone new.
Yeah. I think, no, I get it. I think like genuinely, like you just have to go do things. You have to like take a pottery class to go
Yeah,
make friends.
You do.
Yeah. You also have to like, I think if you connect with someone, you have to immediately be like, let's hang out. Because you can feel it when you and a person are like connecting.
Yeah, and you got to do it while you're young because then you just get lazier and lazier.
Yeah.
So that kind of also answers like how you push yourself out of your comfort zone too, right? That was our next question on our advice segment.
Oh yeah. How do you push it? Yeah. You have to embrace the cringe.
Yeah. So then
And
that
trying to make
actually-
friends is cringy. And try to push yourself out of your comfort zone is cringy, but you have to embrace it.
Which is funny. It actually brings me to the next user submitted question for the we definitely shouldn't be giving advice portion. What's it like being the friend that can sing? Is it actually hard?
I say this as someone that can sing just fine. I'm not like Kelly Clarkson, but I'm also not like who's a bad singer.
A homeless person?
No, some of them are very good. Have you ever been to the
That's true. That's
42nd
true. That's true.
Street
That's true.
train
That's
station?
true. That's true.
I'm not like Trisha Paytas. Like in terms of like I can sing just fine.
Okay.
I would say it is hard, especially with the person who submitted this in mind. I'll tell you
Mhm.
later who. Yeah, it is hard because everyone wants to go to karaoke and it's like, I can't. There's pressure.
Speaking of me being a piece of shit in my 20s, there was a long period of time where my husband was obsessed with karaoke. He still is. He's half Filipino, and Filipinos love karaoke.
Yeah, they do.
They really love karaoke. So
I love a video of a pop star in the Philippines who's like really singing.
can you not, like, let's reel in your ADHD for a second here. Okay, we loved karaoke. Sing Sing, like we loved a post game at Sing Sing when we were actually like going out. And many times my husband would pick a very off the cuff.
Oh, do you not say his name?
I like try not to because he's, trying to make a
Because
reputation
he's
for himself.
The
and
president of the United States.
I fucking wish. We used to post game at places like Sing Sing and whatever karaoke bars. Our wedding after party, we just had someone show up. It could have been anyone. We don't even know who he was. He just showed up with a karaoke machine at a bar and we paid him.
Love.
It was great. And so oftentimes he would pick, some kind of Johnny Cash, some kind of really like off the cuff, but
Yeah, of course.
song that enough people knew.
Yeah. Like a dude song.
Yeah, yeah. And one time we were at the bar and an Irish man who was visiting New York from Ireland looked at me and he said, "That man was the best singer I've ever heard in my life."
The Irish man from Ireland.
Yeah, yeah. We made his whole trip to New York, I guess. Because I'll take credit.
Yeah.
It's a good thing happening to my husband. And that's all I really have to offer here. Just try to sing better.
I think if people know that you quote unquote can sing, they expect you to go to karaoke and like be Celine Dion.
Right. It's like when people know that you are putzing around with stand up, and if you say that you are, they're like, "Oh, tell us a joke."
Yeah, and it's like,
no, I'd rather kill myself.
It would not be funny in this context.
Yeah.
Nothing would be funny in this context.
No, I really would rather push myself out of this window.
Yeah. So it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, especially like what I did in musical theater was mostly like comedy singing, like bits.
No
like,
way.
Like, yeah, of course, like pattery, like stuff. So what am I gonna like? No one wants to hear "Are you getting married today?" from Company. Like,
It must be really hard to be you.
what
as
am I going to
someone
do?
who's
Part
a
of me is
good
everybody
singer.
there, because if everybody's there, I want to thank you all for coming to the wedding. I'd appreciate you going even more. You must have lots of better things to do. Like, we're not doing that at karaoke.
Save that musical theater shit. This is not the place.
That's what I'm saying. It is hard.
I want to just share and maybe give a little bit of an apology for one time that I gave you very bad advice.
Yeah, I'd like it.
I want to apologize because I told you to actively pursue someone who
Yes.
was giving you all of the green flags, all of the go-ahead, all the green lights to make a move on him. And you shared screenshots and I said, you should go for this. And he shut you down within 20 seconds. And I encouraged it.
On the G train.
On the G train, I was so stunned that I had to walk away from my phone. I truly apologize for misinterpreting everything he said.
To be shut down on a train that is usually shut down is really tough.
You just came full circle, yeah. And that's why I don't give dating advice ever.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I really was like, wow, a married person and someone in a really healthy relationship are giving me advice. This is probably going to go well.
Yeah, and I thought it would go well too, considering he was
And
just
Allie, who's just like, hi. I was like, oh, of course it'll work.
the one chick who like everyone is like
Yeah,
in love
yeah,
with
yeah,
all the time. I'm pretty sure she turned someone lesbian in our comedy class.
Yeah, she turned me straight.
Oh, that is so nice.
Nothing could turn me straight.
Moving on to our next segment, I wanted to grill.
Oh, wait, no,
our-
I accept your apology.
Oh.
I meant to say.
Thank you so much. Sorry for literally like reading what was happening and then telling you to go for it. I've never seen anything like it, Chris. Like I haven't dated in a
No,
long time.
all the clues were there.
Talk about it. Like, so like what
What were
led you
the
to leave?
It was just giving like, oh, we're about to embark on a journey together. Heart, don't fail me now. It was giving like Journey to the Past from
Okay.
Anastasia. It was
And
crazy.
I'm gonna give you like the breakdown of it, not this ADHD version, but
Sure.
it was a text conversation between two lovely people, and it was like, I like to have a drink before I go on stage. Oh, I like to go have a drink before I go on stage too. I really like this one club. I like to go out dancing. Yeah, I like to go out dancing too. I love hanging out with so and so. Me too.
Yeah.
It
Like,
was literally the most
here's a song.
straight exchange of my entire life between two gays. And then the other one tried to say that he wasn't gay.
Did he?
Didn't he say he was like, I don't like men, man?
No, he didn't do all that.
No, he
no,
did say...
no. He said he was like, I'm demisexual.
Okay, no, that's a terminology. I'm not going down that road. What the fuck is a demisexual?
It means you're not really attracted to people until you're attracted to them emotionally.
No.
Which
we're not. Stop.
Look, I'm gonna say I'm happy for
Don't
every.
do- I-
Look,
no.
I'm gonna say something.
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
I'm gonna say something. I'm happy for everyone in whatever terminology makes them listen to me. I'm happy for everyone in whatever terminology makes them feel happy. I need you to hear what I'm about to say. Is being attracted to someone emotionally before you're attracted to them sexually not just kind of like? Is that not just kind of like
the point.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's true for
No,
me,
no.
because I'm usually attracted to people sexually first, but like, whatever. Okay, moving on.
No, this is the most insane thing I've ever. Demisexual. So you really are only attracted to people that you want a full-blown relationship with.
Yeah, I guess so.
I hate this person.
I support it. I support everyone.
This is why I stay in Manhattan. But honestly, because I'm literally always saying something fucking wrong, and I'm reading a black and white text message conversation that says, we have similar interests. We like the same things.
I like you. Yeah.
We seem to like each other. Me, oh my God, that sounds delightful. You should go for it, Patrick. Patrick goes for it. Oh,
So
no,
how
sorry,
did Patrick go for it? I'm like interested in the details.
I am a not subtle person. I was literally just on the train and was like, after we'd like been out dancing together. I was also on drugs, but
everyone's always on drugs.
Yeah,
that doesn't make a
You
difference.
shot the shot in person.
Yeah, I like looked at him and was like, so I'm into you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not into you. Like
Yeah.
so quick.
But it was so fast, and it's just so mind-blowing, because if this were me and my husband when we were like 21, 22, and we had a conversation like that, I'd be like, wow, this is a lot fucking easier than it has been, because that man was playing games.
Yeah,
You know, like,
20.
yeah, you're like being like a fuck boy, and like you're in love one minute and the next you're not answering calls, and vice versa. This was cut and dry.
Yeah, it was so, especially because he was coming across so like mature.
Yeah,
Or
it's
an adult.
so
Yeah.
don't come across mature and then try to hit me with this demi glass bullshit. Okay,
Again, I
like,
support everyone.
and I do too, but but like, you know what? You are attracted to someone because of like the emotional connection. I support everyone until you piss me off emotionally.
Support everyone until you piss me off is so funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the next segment of my show. I want to ask Patrick, do you take these things personally? Did Patrick take this personally? And I'm going to ask you a couple of things
Okay.
that I've come up with.
Okay, I'm not going to look at the list. So they
I don't
feel
want
like
you to look at the
surprises.
list. The first thing I want to ask you about, did you take this personally?
Okay.
Chapel Roan on Call Her Daddy.
No. At the end of the day, underneath all the clown makeup, Chapel Roan is a white woman. I don't know why everyone got... I love her. Really nothing negative to say about her, but like, that's who she is.
Right. So she was naturally going to go on.
Of course.
Yeah.
And she was always going to like...
It just didn't feel like her audience off the top of my head.
I thought it was a weird choice, but whatever. Whatever makes her feel...
She's getting a little bit of heat because she said all moms are miserable, but she's not wrong.
Yeah, she's not wrong. And also, Seth Rogen pretty much said the same thing and no one cared because he sells weed memorabilia.
Right. Next thing, did Patrick take this personally? RFK pulling funds on HIV and AIDS research.
Yes, because he took away the poppers.
That was my next question.
Didn't he take them away because he thinks they cause HIV/AIDS?
No. Next
No,
question.
yes, he did. He literally is quoted as saying, "I think poppers cause HIV/AIDS," which is obviously just like he just clearly hates gay people.
So
and just
misinformed.
doesn't want us to have fun.
The most fun I've ever had was on poppers.
Look, and I'm not like
And I'm not gay.
okay, yeah, I will say straight people doing poppers on the dance floor, that is crazy to me. Do other drugs like a normal person. If you don't get a ketamine spray bottle and shove that up your nose, put the poppers down.
No one's ever offered me a ketamine spray bottle, but someone has offered me poppers.
Really?
Yeah.
It is fun for like 30 seconds. I've done it.
And then the hangover is unfucking real. A poppers.
A poppers hangover?
Yeah.
A poppers hangover.
Yeah, like when you're adding poppers into the mix.
I thought for some reason,
No, not like the specific, like I took a popper now, like I sniff poppers now I'm hungover. I mean it more.
When you start mixing them with alcohol.
Right.
Yeah. What if you mix poppers with your alcohol? If that was your shooter?
I feel like that kind of happened on my Bachelorette.
Damn. I feel like you would die.
Is that why they banned it?
No, they banned it because they hate gay people.
Right.
Recently, this is
Duh.
related. It's not idiot. Was using poppers in a scenario where they are appropriate. So gay sex. That's the only time they're appropriate. And I put them.
Okay, you don't come on my podcast and shame me.
Okay, basically what I'm saying is I put the thing too close to my nostril and did give myself a chemical burn. And I dry
Ooh.
skin, but I dry skin in a way that kept flaking that made it look like I had something else under my nose. And I was at work
Oh.
all day having to like rip the flaking skin so people didn't think I was at work.
Doing coke.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's New York. Anything goes here.
No, not that one.
Did Patrick take this personally? This season of White Lotus? And I'm not going to ask you specifically on the incest storyline, but just in general.
I do take it personally.
The incest storyline?
No, not that. I take Carrie Coon's character very personally.
Ooh, tell me more.
The other, are you watching?
Yeah.
Are you caught up?
Well, why would I ask you about it if I'm not watching?
Chris, is this his name?
Yes.
Are you watching?
I'm not.
Okay, cool. You're not going to care if I spoil
I'm not
anything?
watching.
Oh, okay.
No, you can spoil it.
Okay, cool. The other night when she was pissed off at her friends, so she went and got drunk and went to a fight to meet up with a guy and then went back to his apartment and had sex with him, and then his girlfriend showed up and she fell out of a window and she had to run down the street. I took that personally.
Oh, okay.
When she was walking down the street really thinking about her decisions that have led her to the middle.
Asked her for $10,000.
Yes, and she started considering it. My favorite was when she goes, well, I don't have that type of money on me.
I don't think she was saying it like that. I think she was saying it more about it was just a way out.
Yeah.
I don't think she was trying to offer him the money. She was just kind of trying to like get him away from her.
She's so messy. And I really felt when she hit Leslie Bibb and said like, have a drink, relax. I said, whoa.
Yeah, I don't take this season of White Lotus personally because I missed the first 2 seasons. But I will say that the friendship between the 3 women it is so weird to see that dynamic on screen because it's so fucking real. Groups of 3s don't work. I take groups of 3s personally.
See, I love a group of 3 if it works, but like the tension they have is palpable
because they're straight women, and I think that maybe that's not something you've experienced.
Sure.
I would assume.
Yeah, like the actresses are having an Emmy off in every scene.
So good, true. That is a great way to put it.
I would nominate the 3 of them jointly.
Wow.
Because I would be like, what? Who else is creating this? It's the same way I would have nominated like Ariana and Cynthia jointly. Because I'm like, the tension between these characters is relevant.
They need each other to be considered for this.
The performance is nothing without this other person.
They're also so hot.
Oh, all 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
Hunty little Bob.
Oh my God, they're so hot.
Yeah.
I saw Leslie Bibb and Sam Rockwell in person once at having dinner. They're married in real life. They've been married a long time, and they are stunning in person. She is so gorgeous with that cunty little bob.
I didn't realize she was on Palm Royale. Did you watch that?
I started it, but
sure.
Does Patrick take this personally? Tate McRae. And I left that open-ended for a reason.
Yeah.
Is she the next Britney?
Who is that?
Tate McRae?
That's like Madison Beer to me. I'm like, that's not real.
Oh. That's not fair.
That's AI. Every time I see a video of Tate McRae, I'm like, AI generated.
She's too good?
No.
Her legs are sick.
So I have a story about her.
Oh, do tell.
So I work at a place whose name I'm not going to say because of the story I'm going to tell. And she called. I'm pretty sure it was her that called, not someone from her team, because I went on TikTok later and listened to videos and heard her voice and was like, I'm pretty sure that was her. I'm pretty sure, called this place I work at when she was on SNL. This was Thursday, SNL Saturday, famously. Friday is the day between those 2. Calls and is like, hi, I need a reservation tomorrow for 8 people at 7, which is like a prime time at a very busy high-end restaurant place.
I'll edit.
Prime time at a very busy high-end place, and we did not have availability. And I was like, I'm so sorry. We can do like 8:39. And she was like, can you get a manager? And my job is literally to make the reservations and stuff. So I was like, no, it's like the middle of dinner service. I'm not grabbing a manager to tell you that we can't do a reservation. And then I was like, I can give you an email and you can email them. I was like, they're very responsive. They'll respond on the floor to emails. I was like, just email them and it'll probably work out. And she goes, okay, like whatever, like was very upset. And then at the end of the call, she goes, I'd just like to reiterate that this is for Tate McRae. And I was so annoyed at this point that I'd like to iterate that I don't know who that is. And then I hung up the phone.
I thought she was on her way to becoming a gay icon. No, you take her personally.
But then her manager called back and I made the reservation. So it actually all worked out.
Who's more cunty, you or her?
Yeah. But I do like that one song that's like, it's okay, I'm okay. I don't be like, gotta say it.
It's so hard being the friend who could sing.
But it is. But the sport, like, she's reheating other people's nachos.
Okay, that's fair.
She needs to come up with her own recipe, but I don't trust her. I don't trust her in the kitchen with the nachos.
Fair.
Her choreographer...
We don't trust your taste in pizza, so I guess
Her choreographer also, to be clear, if she ever wants to work with me or meet me, I'd love her. She can be my best friend. To be clear, she's beautiful.
She is hot.
She has so much more money than I'll ever have.
Right.
That's not true.
Manifest. Don't talk
Manifest. Down. She does have longer hair than I'll ever have, so that's cool.
Don't sell yourself.
I
short.
forget where I was going to go. It was something in defense of her, but now
She's a brunette in a good way.
No, she's brunette in a bad way.
All right. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, everybody stream Kesha's new song, Yippee Ki-Yay. Oh,
Kesha has a new song.
exactly.
What else do you want to leave the audience with? I have something in my eye. Do you see it?
I just see your future and it looks.
Shut the fuck up. Fucking give me your closing thought.
You can follow me online at the unofficial Patrick on most things, I think. I do not actually know what my username is on anything. I don't know any of my passwords.
So fuck you all and try to figure it out.
Yeah.
And we will have some more upcoming shows, so follow us jointly at Reunion NYC.
Yes, we'll probably have a show in May or June.
We're good shows because we're a good balance between the gays and the straights. You have some serious people come on like myself who talks about things like rearing children and husbands. And then you have people like Patrick come on talking about Grindr.
Yeah. And then we have like Allie does like kind of storytelling type of comedy. Yeah, there's always like a good mix.
Yeah, come. You might also fall in love with Allie.
That's true.
Everyone has.
Everyone will.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Mwah.
Mwah.
The end.
The end.
Girl, great work.
Thank you.